Hey YouTube, it's Alicia here, none other. Welcome back to Alicia Bay YouTube channel. I am back to give y'all a wrestling talk. I just been waiting for a bit to talk about this, but I want to talk about WWE's annual releases. As y'all know, we had our 2026 releases, and it was somebody on there. I felt that was on there. We're going to be talking about the releases that was actually happening live as we spoke on the 24th of this past week. And I just feel like we need to talk about this. So let's go through all of the names. We have Abba Fire, Aleister Black, Aaron Chase, Apollo Crews, Bo Dallas, Chris Isles, that was a development wrestler, Dalton Chan, NXT, Dexter Lumis, Eric Roman, Joe Gracie, Kyrie Sane, Luca Caspo, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Malik Blaine, the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Christopher Sabin, and Nikki Cross, Santo Escobar, Serena Limpton, a WWE LFT wrestler, Trail London, NXT, Tyra May Steels, WWE LFTG wrestler who went to NXT, and we'll be talking about that, and Tigric Egri, and that's NXT, and Tyson Duport, NXT, Zelina Vega, and Zoe Stark. So we're going to be talking about Aleister Black and Zelina Vega, and Zoe Stark, Kyrie Sane, the Motor City Machine Guns, and Apollo Crews. So let me start with Zelina Vega and Aleister Black. I felt like them being released was a blow to the WWE fans because, one, I think they was putting on a good programming. And then you got a husband and wife duos. You got so many husband and wife duos. Y'all know what they could have done with all the husband and wife duos that are still there versus getting rid of this one. Oh my God, y'all could have had something much more, but you didn't. But you saved two. Let's get this straight. You saved two that we haven't seen on TV in a long time. But you decide to get rid of Zelina Vega, who is very outspoken. But then you get rid of Aleister Black. And I feel like that was where we need to blame Triple H. Is Triple H to blame for some of these releases? I believe so. But I also think TKO is pulling the strings of who they are getting rid of. Now let's talk about Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews been there for almost 11 years, and he only had gotten a little bit of a push probably about a couple of years ago, and then doing the 2020 COVID, let's say it, COVID pandemic thing, he got a little bit of a push then. And I really feel like, I'm calling it like it is, this guy should have been pushed to the top of the men's division. This was let's just say, wasted talent by WWE under Vince McMahon and Triple H as well. Y'all can agree or disagree with me, but Apollo Crews could have been a top superstar going for the undisputed title belt and the heavyweight title belt. That's just my opinion. Okay. Now, before I get to Kyrie Sane, let me talk about Motor City Machine Guns. I remember the day they made their debut. And when they made their debut, I'm going, okay, they're going to do good. They had some pretty good matches. But since that debut, the last 2 years they've been here, we haven't hardly seen nothing. They debuted, I think, the end of 2024, early 2025. And now you see they had a real good pop. They had a good reign as a tag team champs. And I'm going, why did they sign a contract with WWE? Why WWE sign a contract with them if they knew in a couple of months' time, a year time, they was going to get rid of them? That got me thinking. So I know for a fact they probably going to go back to TNA, or go back to the independent, or go back to New Japan. Okay. Now, Santo Escobar. Now, Santo Escobar has been with WWE for about, I say about three to 4 years. And I do like what he has gave us. But, you know, he hasn't been seen on TV. If he is on TV, they are putting him, burying him in matches. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see him pop up on Lucha Libre, AAA, under his old ring name as Phantasma. If you know his former ring name is Phantasma, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see him go back to Lucha Libre, AAA under that ring name, or go to New Japan, but I wouldn't be too surprised. Now, let's get on Kairi Sane. When I saw Kairi Sane on this list, I was like, we just saw her on TV. She was a prominent figure in the Asuka Kairi Sane feud. We was building up to it, but it looks like we won't get it. And I just feel like what's going on, and like everybody's doing what they said. We want Kairi Sane return. And I really believe that. I believe they was too hasty to get rid of her. And that is that. And when I say they was too hasty, they was too hasty. Now, do I think WWE needs to rethink how they get rid of superstars? I really believe so. I don't think when it comes to money, it's like you have a problem. And I'm going to come and talk about something else when it comes to WWE that's not wrestling, that is wrestling related, but we're going to have to talk about it and think. But that's my thing. But yeah, those are all of the people, and I wasn't too surprised to see Zoe Stark on this list, because as y'all know, Zoe Stark, I think in the middle of 2025 had that ACL injury, and I was like, they only keeping her until her contract run out. They only keeping her until her contract run out. To my surprise, look, I was right. She fully was cleared to wrestle, and look what happened. That is that. So now we see what happened. Now let me talk about somebody who should have been on this list that WWE, Triple H, refused to put on the release list. And that is Nikita Lyons. We all have had, she has had some good matches, I give her that. But I say her being in WWE is an ulterior motive. If y'all don't know Nikita Lyons' history, let me give you a little brief. Nikita Lyons started on Wild of Wrestling. Then she went from starting on Wild of Wrestling to being a contestant on Chance of Love third, I think it was the third or second season for Chance. If y'all remember Real and Chance of Love, you remember that show. So you remember the guy named Chance. She was on the Zeus spinoff version of Chance of Love. She was on that. If y'all, that gets me to say she has an ulterior motive of being in WWE to start her music career, to start her acting career. So you have to think with certain people, what's the ulterior motive and stuff. And I'm going to say why Triple H don't put her on that list, because she has been injury prone since she's been here. All I'm saying is, why? And we all need to ask, Triple H, why Nikita Lyons is not on that list? And then you have to say this. Triple H, are you pulling the strings when it comes who's being released? Or is TKO being the ones pulling the strings of who's getting released? Y'all, that's all I have time for. Until then, I'm Alicia. Don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment below, and let's get the conversation started. Did Nikita Lyons needed to be on that release list? Until then, bye.